Hi, my name is Ariel from the Children of Karma, and today we're going to discuss Mars and Uranus ancestral aspects. Mars is about our desires, what we crave, our action, and Uranus is responsible for the changes, the uncertainty. When Uranus is placed with a personal planet like Mars, it may not always be as helpful and creative as we expect it to be. It may be that we're not realizing the intentions behind our actions. This person can be very high strung, they never stop, but they know the fastest way to get what they want, and they just cannot be stopped. Even jaywalkers, they just can't wait for the lights. They just can't wait. They can't wait for anything to be repaired. They try to do it themselves. And, this is also involving heavy machinery and electrical appliances, things like this. And like me, for example, you can find yourself as the repairman around the house, and you kind of ignore the warning signs. It's like you're in such a rush to get it done, and you don't pay attention to the consequences of your actions. You kind of move a little too quickly, and this was a hard lesson for me to learn through the accident, through the recovery. Even I mean, it's like this energy still persists. It's so strong in me. Even after the recovery, you have to kind of give your body time and take things gradually. And I always had that mind of, even when I worked out, I would just challenge myself to go further, go further, go further. Even this aspect can be very wanting to control the changes that come across. So you can lose that feeling of safety within, so you want to control everything. And right before my accident, I was trying to control everything. The workouts were very much controlled, always the same weekly. I would increase the challenges as I would go, but everything was recorded. Trips to the bathroom were recorded, meals were recorded. I knew what I was doing at every hour of the day, and everything was just very Saturnian. And that was my attempt to try to control everything, because it gave me that sense of safety, or so I thought. Really it's just a sense of anxiety to control everything, because you can't control everything. And this was a lesson I learned, after my injury, and then the surgeries that came after, the recovery that came after. I realized that things just work in their own time, and you have to take your hands off of it. You can't control everything. With this aspect, you can really inspire others. You can inspire them in an enlightened type of way, or in a disruptive kind of way, destructive kind of way. And you can kind of call in those people who are meant to be the cycle breakers, just to move them in that specific type of way. And it's tricky in relationships with this aspect, because you can get bored. Maybe you don't have even a specific type of person that you're interested in. Maybe, all of them are your type, but I don't know. Really, for this aspect, I think an unconventional relationship is better. Maybe one where you don't see the person all the time, where you don't live together, and maybe you see them on weekends, or dating multiple people at the same time. Putting all your eggs in one basket. It's like you're asking for disappointment, right? And I do feel like we are meant to spread it around a little. But that's a sign of this aspect too. So This aspect can also be the model, the stripper, someone who trades in sexual excitement. And as I said in other videos, that like I learned early on that our femininity is like a currency, our sexuality is a currency. And when this aspect is found in a female's chart, perhaps she finds a partner who is Mars or a Uranian type. Someone who has an exciting life, a dangerous kind of life. You know, they're very intriguing, very magnetic to you. And you can call in those kind of people. On my mother's side, this aspect affected us in a health kind of way. With my grandmother and I both having the quincunx, sometimes this can affect you with your health, especially when you're trying to control everything. Uranus may act out in a material kind of way. So, and it certainly did for me, and it's also a sign of surgeries. On my father's side, there's strong Uranian energy, and I found this letter from an ancestor, Jacob R. Kitchen. He was in the Pennsylvania Council when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. And in this letter, they're discussing what occurred in the council meeting, and it sounded so Uranian, but let's put our shoulders together, brother to brother, and, you know, fight for our land, our country. Like, it was so revolutionary, freedom fighter. Such a strong Uranian energy, and Uranus Mars, very much war and military themes. So I thought, this has been in the family for such a long time, you know, and here it is all the way down to me. And, you know, what do I plan to do with this energy? You know, it really makes you put things into perspective. Thank you guys for joining me for this video, and I hope to see you at thechildrenofkarma.com for your ancestral pattern service, and where we can unlock all of the conditioning from ancestors through their astrological charts. And we don't need the exact time of birth, we only need the date, and we can get so much information from this. And you can find those dates online for ancestors who have passed, right? And if you're not interested in that, we have the monthly transit service, following your North Node service, which shows you your room of possibilities for success based on the bodies and aspects to your North Node, and synastry chart readings, natal chart readings, and a variety of coaching services to process the information that we will find out from our astrology. So thank you guys. Please join me at thechildrenofkarma.com, and don't forget to like the video. Bye.